Is there anyone out there in the chat? Hello? 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 Is anyone out there in the chat? Hello? Hello? Finally, we have someone in the chat. Well, I'm not used to this broadcasting interface, so problem could come. But I'm glad at least one person came into my chat. So I think we're both new to each other. So I will introduce myself. Should I raise the volume or something? Or is it my background music too loud or something? Hello? Is it squeaky? Well, it's intended to be. Chat delay is like 30 seconds to 1 minute. Well, in that case, I will try to shorten the delay and stuff. Tone down the squeakiness just a little. Okay. Hello? Is it any better now? Hello? Oh, thank you. To be honest, I'm not used to with the sound settings and stuff. I needed somebody or something else to point out and stuff. But anyways, if my voice is okay, then I will think I'll have an introduction that I prepared. Hold on a second. Chat? Where are you, chat? Ah, there you are. I think I lost you, but now I have someone to listen to my introduction. So, yeah, I think I do. Is it too small? Yes, I can't. I could start a new one if you want. All I have to do is to readjust things. Just continue? Okay. So, Nice to meet you, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Aiura Kyouko. I am 125 years old, which is quite young for a golden fox with some celestial physics. I was found and raised in a place called Aiura, where lots of ships station at the ports. Even though I came and went both Japan and Korea, I mostly now live in South Korea with my owner. I can speak English, Korean, and some Japanese. My birthday is in August 4th. Now I'll speak what I've just said in Korean and Japanese. 안녕하세요. 제 이름은 아이우라 쿄코이고 붉은 여우계의 요호예요. 125살이라 그 중에서도 어린 편이에요. 제 상씨는 제가 발견대로 길러진 아이노우라는 곳을 따라 지었대요. 전에는 한국과 일본 두 나라를 오가면서 살았지만 지금은 제 주인과 함께 한국에 얹혀 살고 있어요. 저는 영어, 한국어, 그리고 일본어를 좀 할 줄 알아요. 제 생일은 8월 4일이에요. 또 私の名前はアイウラキョコです。私は赤キツネ系のヨコので125歳のわがりな方なのです。私の名字は私が見つけされたアイノーラの沿って名付けされました。今は主に韓国に住んでいます。韓国と日本両国をよく行き来したりしました。私は英語、韓国語や日本語ができます。誕生日は8月4日。橋の日なのです。So what I just said in Japanese is that my birthday is in some date of bridge because my birthday is set up to the date of 8 and 4, which is red hashi in Japanese. My name also have the character meaning of bridge in there too. Next is about the things I like. I like gaming for sure. I also like listening to exciting music. And I also like dancing along to fun, exciting music as well. I also like culinary stuff. Most of the time, it's about eating. And I could sometimes cook. Now for dislikes. I don't like excessive heat and humidity because I don't want to be steamed like dumplings. don't like being isolated for too long. Working under pressure is also the thing that I don't really prefer. I tend to resolve better when under less pressure. And lastly, time over consuming story arc. Some stories might take long enough to develop drama, but when those things run too far, it becomes rather boring. And then there are things that I want to do. I want to learn and experience new things. I would also like to travel and visit new places. Even though it's tough to go abroad now, I've always wanted to travel around the world. And lastly, but important, I want to be friends with everyone as possible. Now for the things that I'm into. On games, I like Bridgepals. Whether it's contract or rubber on auction, it's fun. Most of the time, it's usually the former though. I also know how to play Japanese mahjong. It seems like most VTubers start to get into this thing, so I decided to learn a bit. I also have a selection of few action games such as Jet Set Radio, Cuphead, Lisa League, and so on. I also enjoy music games such as Beat Mania and Dance Dance Revolution. And speaking of music, let's talk about musicians that I like. I usually listen to dance music, especially of the following artists. Hideki Naganuma is my most favorite. Also, I listen to some individual music and game OSTs. Next up is publications in terms of reading or watching. I usually like to read Senko the Helpful Fox. The fox is all over 500 years old, which is very interesting. I also enjoy watching journalistic cartoons by some guy named Guy Delisle. Did I pronounce it right? I hope so. I also usually read bridge-related stuff, mainly by Edward Contar or Mark Smith. And I usually look at art or illustrations, mostly by small growing artists, some by name artists, which I can tell right now. Let's just say that I appreciate their works. And last in line here is my favorite VTuber senior. My favorite VTuber senior is Hinetsuki Noah. I forgot to bring her picture here, as there's not enough space to show, but I do refer her as my role model because she is very kind to all of her listeners, which makes me want to refer her very often. Also, she smiles a lot. is about the designer, usually the illustrator is called model, and the model rigger, the one who adjusts things in live 2D, as the father. But this model is already ready-made by one person. Well, in that case, I'll reference the original creator as parent. It still makes sense, right? Anyways, my parent is named as B-Traphan or BTRP. I have his link in the description. Make sure to check him out on Twitter and Pixip and other places. And speaking of which, these are the artworks that are at least safe, for sure. Yeah. Next up is going to be a storytelling time. Things started with some major changes, especially those in the 1900s, I assume. I realized some wild places for myself to roam and stay have changed. But I didn't think that I hated it much. I could sneak into some new style cottages for brand new tasty things like long meat and square sugary snappy things. I've become fonded and started living for it. That is, until I stepped into a big house, which changed my life. I was looking for new food as usual, but there was something different. Stacks of sheets with red and black symbols with some pictures of people in there. What are those? They did smell delicious. So while I was looking at them, I was found by a man who just entered there. I quickly changed into my human form and the man said, "Oh, why is there a little girl here at our club? Perhaps I could teach you about our game." It wasn't too long enough for people to figure out that I needed to be taught about every subject in this new era. So I learned and got to know a lot of things thanks to lots of positive aid from the man who genuinely got interested in me at our first sight. Turns out people are using land and materials more efficiently for more people to gather, communicate, and live better. And with the stacks of sheets I was wondering about were a set of things called playing cards, used by people to gather around and have fun with each other, which I love the idea of. Sadly, the man who encouraged me to step into a better world couldn't live long as I do. There was nothing I could help him. My cast as a celestial fox couldn't extend his lifespan after all. But I'm sure he had at least one elaborate work cultivating me. It let me take every good privilege in my life. Of course, it takes effort and quite a bunch of will for it, especially the standards usually quite high for myself as a wildlife being. So with all of it, I've always wanted to show that pushing for having a better degree of mind and will is always worth having. That made me join the trend of VTubing to share the positive vibes I received as possible. There's still so much stuff I don't know or haven't heard of, or unaccustomed for myself, such as this broadcast and so on. But I will do all my best to get improved with everything. And speaking of which, it seems that no one has ever been playing bridge around in my current place. Maybe having frequent peer participation streams would help myself with that. Because at least there's great internet speed here. Next up is my goals and plans. Things are quite high on bridge-related stuff, such as becoming Life Master, qualifying in WBF official events, running my own regular tournament in Bridgepals Online, streaming and filming lectures of Contract Bridge, usually in Korean, and publishing bridge books translated and written by myself. I have other goals and plans outside bridge. Some of them are getting better at Japanese, and some game-related stuff like making every left hand on Japanese mahjong. I would also like to get a 3D model to stream dance games or thing called VR chat or something. And lastly, but importantly, gradually improving more people's lives better. Next is about hashtags. As you can see, there are a variety of them for each purpose and languages separately. There's even more of them at my profile, which is in the link in the description. And then operations. There are fan names which I've set up for each language. The English fan name is Bridgepals. At first I thought of Bridgemate, but it's already a trademark already. So I fixed the mate part to pals.日本のファンネームはキョウメイトで決めました。意味は京子と共鳴するレイトの意味があります。 한국에서의 팬 명칭은 켜코와 교류를 갖는 모임의 단원이란 뜻의 큐르원으로 정했어요. Next up is greetings. I decided up with a simple one. Well, it's better to have a simple one because it's hard to decide whether you say good morning or good night. So I decided to what was that? I decided to use it any time of the day, such as nyanpasu. If you ever heard of that. Anyways, it goes like this. Kyomo. It's short for the Japanese phrase Kyomo yoi ichinichi o, or Kyomo otsukare, meaning have a nice day for today or take care for today. So that's all for the introduction. Let's be friendly. There's all there is to it. Oh. Oh no. I forgot to turn off D-Smile. Oh. Usually I can control whether I can smile or frown. Usually, I just smile like that, but so this is in D-Smile thing. Oh well. Let's just say that I forgot about the functions that I have. Speaking of which, I can show you a few more things. This is in regular position. This is smiling. This is for smiling. Oh! This is smiling. This is more smiling. This is a pale face. This is my eye sparkling. This is myself getting angry. And I can lift my eyebrows. I can straighten them up. And I can control my pupils. I can shrink them. Or even more. I wonder if I can use all of them as they're all manual. And sometimes it don't work if I'm using another program or something. Maybe some of them will work if I'm playing a Steam game or something. That is, games that I bought on Steam. And I can slightly move my body around like this. Well, I think I'll just quickly end this stream. But before I leave, let's say goodbye to each other with the greetings that we've taught, or we got to know each other about. Here it is for your reference. It's just simply Kyomo, whether it's hi or goodbye or good morning or good night and stuff like that. So on a count of 3, let's say Kyomo all together. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.